Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and today I want to give you all my thoughts, opinions, and all that on the new Xbox One consoles that have been announced recently. Now, I talked about this in my Microsoft wrap-up video of their press conference, and I was going to go into greater detail because I do have quite a few things to say, and it might surprise some people because I'm actually kind of on the fence and not really on board for these. Now, for anybody that does not know, if you need a quick TLDR or TLDW of what happened, the current system out right now is the Xbox One. There were two new systems announced that are within that same category. There's the Xbox One S, which is a slim version of the Xbox One. We all knew that was going to happen years ago. We just didn't know when it would happen. And there is the Xbox One Scorpio, which was announced. Both these have been leaked. They've been touted around, all that stuff. And I don't think anybody really said that Microsoft was going to be making two consoles. We knew that they were going to make a 4K capable console from rumors, and then people were saying that it was going to be much more powerful like the Scorpio, but I don't think anybody ever had a rumor saying that there were going to be two new consoles coming out, and if there was that rumor out there, I doubt anybody believed it. I wouldn't have believed it personally, and what I think Microsoft's doing is a bit unbelievable. So first off, tackling the Xbox One S, I actually thought this was going to be it, and I thought it would have been a good idea. The Slim system is a smaller system, about 40% smaller. It has an internal power supply. I personally prefer external power supplies due to the fact of reliability and also because of cooling, but that's a whole nother thing. And the biggest difference that it has is that it can output at 4K resolution, 60 Hz. Now, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 technically on their hardware can output at 4K, but because they are not HDMI 2.0 compliant, they can only output at 4K 30 Hz, and nobody really wants to play at that, and you're going to notice it. So really, this system is going to be great for 4K Blu-rays, so if you don't have a Blu-ray player that's 4K capable, this would be a good one to pick up. If you're thinking about getting an Xbox One right now, it would probably be best to wait a few months and then get the Xbox One S, because that will have all the extra capabilities, and plus it's going to upscale all the games over to 4K and all the other content, which is already what the Xbox One does right now. It upscales everything to the resolution you output it at. So for example, not many games on the Xbox One run at 1080p. But if I set my Xbox One right here to 1080p output, all of them are going to upscale to 1080p. So that's one thing I want to put out there. For people saying, oh yeah, all the games are going to start running at 4K, they're not going to natively run at 4K. That's not going to be possible on the current hardware, and if it is, it would be horrible. They are going to be upscaled to 4K, and then because of that, they're going to do some little tweaks with like HDR and such that will make it look better in 4K, but trust me, you're not getting native 4K on these systems anytime soon. Now this I was actually on board for. Like what I was going to do, I was going to take one of my Xbox One consoles and I was going to use like a trade-in program and trade it in towards the Xbox One S, and then I was going to put it out in my living room where I have a 4K TV because it would be more useful out there. I would have a 4K Blu-ray player and I would have, another device that actually takes a hold of 4K. Unfortunately, now I'm not going to be doing that for two reasons. I mean, one of them now, Xbox is becoming a service overall. If you saw their new conference and you saw what was going on, or even if you read a little bit, what's going on now is that Xbox One and Windows 10, they're trying to make unanimous. And really at its core, Xbox One, when it first came out, was just a stripped down basic Windows 8 PC. And then with the new Xbox One experience, it's now a stripped down basic Windows 10 PC. I mean, hell, if you've ever taken apart an Xbox One and pulled out the hard drive, I kid you not, the hard drive is just regular NTFS. The only thing is they lock it down and they customize it and they tailor it to a locked down consoleized experience. That is what the Xbox One is. At its heart, it's really just a PC. That's all it is at that point, and that's, the good and bad thing about it. The bad thing about it, with that being, is that it kind of loses its merit there a little bit because now Xbox is going to become a service overall, and I'm sure later on they're going to have, streaming boxes, streaming sticks, anything like that, but now they're bringing Xbox onto PC. You saw this thing with Xbox Anywhere, where now apparently if you get a new Xbox One game, you also get the PC version with it, and they want that seamless capability of playing on both the PC and the Xbox One. So it's kind of getting to the point now, it's like, I have a decent PC. If all games are going to come out guaranteed on the PC, why do I need the Xbox One? Do I think there's a place for the Xbox One? Yes, I do. And I've actually said this before, but I don't think I've said it in a video. I've told friends and I've told family members about this. The Xbox One is a good console. If you don't plan on playing on PC or you don't have a gaming capable PC. If you have a gaming capable PC, it's an extremely underwhelming console. And that's just how it is, especially as I said, since you see more and more games and now all games coming over to PC that were previously exclusive on Xbox One, it's kind of at the point where it's like, well, if I can play these games better on my computer, why would I have the Xbox One? The reason why I say the Xbox One I think will still stay and will still be relevant is because there are people that just don't want to touch a PC, and that's fine. Like, even for example, right now, I could take my PC and hook it up out in my living room. I really don't want to do that though, because of maybe some type of complexities here and there. Sure, it's easy enough hooking it up in there, but then I don't want to, be at my couch and use a keyboard and mouse and all that stuff. And it's just, see, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of people, I'm sure, that are going to dislike that, and they'll say, oh, Mario, you could do this, you could do that. Listen, for me, it's a mental thing, right? When I'm at my PC, I'm in work mode. When I'm at my game console, I'm in relax, play game mode. And that's why I don't really cross the streams too often with that. Now, as I said, I could have the PC out there in the living room if I wanted to, but then even with the aesthetics, with most living rooms, mainly, even US living rooms, people aren't going to have a PC out there, and mine included. Like, mine is set up all nice and neat, and I like it as is right now, and I can't really comfortably put a PC in there. So is that a personal fault? Absolutely, it is. But point is, I'm not really going to be gunning after putting a PC in my living room, so the console can be there just fine. But we've just spent the past few minutes talking about the Xbox One S and the Xbox service now, but I'm sure people want to hear me talk about the Scorpio, and that's what you want to, debate on everything, so we'll talk about that. And my thoughts on the Xbox One Scorpio are extremely lukewarm. And I'm going to tell you all this. At that reveal, they said that yes, it's going to be 4K capable, it's going to be the most powerful game system out, and it is going to have all these other features. It's going to have 6 teraflops of power available. All those are great. Don't get me wrong. That's all good stuff, and I'm not knocking it. However, it's coming out in holiday season of 2017, and that is where the biggest fault of it is right now. And if you put it in this way, I'm going to run this by you all, right? They are doing the exact same thing with the Scorpio that they did with the Xbox One, except it is public. And I ran this by a friend, and he didn't even think about it, but he did agree with me on this. And if you disagree, just, explain why. But the Xbox One, when it first came out, it had a good amount of exclusives on there. For example, we got EA Access exclusively on the Xbox One for a while. Then it went over to PC. It didn't touch PS4. Titanfall, that was an Xbox and Microsoft exclusive. It was on the 360, the Xbox One, and Windows. It did not go over to the PlayStation 4. And there were some other games like that too. You know why many of these games and many of these companies did exclusive deals with Microsoft? Because Microsoft had their system around shop first. You see, when the Xbox One was in development and when they were getting to the final stages of, the specs and all that, they started shopping it around to companies, and they were saying, hey, EA, how about you sign an exclusive deal with us? This is what you're going to be making your games on. And what happened was, the Xbox One, you got to remember, this is probably 2012, early 2013. It was the most powerful thing that wasn't even out at that point, and it was extremely exclusive and extremely impressive for a console at its time. So what happened was all these companies ended up freaking out, and they said, my God, this is an amazing console. The stuff that we can do with this is completely mind-blowing. It's out of this world what we can do. But let's see what Sony has. Hey, Sony, you have a PS4 coming, right? Could we get the specs on that? And Sony stayed silent about it. And because of that, a lot of people said, oh, well, the Xbox 360 did so well, and Microsoft is already shopping around their new Xbox system that's coming out, and it's really powerful. You know what? Let's sign an exclusive deal with Microsoft on our stuff. Then after those deals went into effect, the PlayStation 4 was announced, and it was announced to be more powerful than the Xbox One. And to anybody who tries to debate that, the only thing more powerful on the PlayStation 4, or more powerful on the Xbox One, is the CPU. And I've said this before, I'm not using my Xbox One as a computer, I'm using it as a game system. I would rather have GPU power, not CPU power. So therefore, the PS4 is going to be more powerful. That is factual, aside from the CPU. That's the only thing that's going to be a little less powerful, but again, with gaming, you want that GPU power. So that is what's happening right now. The Xbox One Scorpio is the most powerful console that has been announced. And is it impressive? Yes, it is. Is it cool what it's going to do? Absolutely. But it's coming out in a year and a half. And Microsoft was saying, oh, we're announcing it right now because we want developers to get up on it and everything and get excited. And they're doing the exact same thing they did. So I'm not sure what Sony's going to be doing with their Neo, or if they decide to do a Neo 2 or whatever the hell they're going to be doing with that. But the other thing is the time sync of it all. It's going to be coming out in a year and a half. A year and a half. And the reason why they're doing that, I believe, is because if they announce the Xbox One Scorpio and put it out right now, it would probably be quite expensive. It would probably be at least $700, and people do not want to pay that for a game console. So by that point, they're going to manufacture enough of them, they're going to get into the motion, and they'll be able to sell it for a more respectable, maybe $400 or $500, something like that. That would make sense. You have the Xbox One S for $300, or you can get the more powerful Scorpio for, let's say, $400 to $500, something like that. I think that would make more sense in the grand scheme of things, and that is probably what they will do. But if it came out right now, it would be much too expensive, and nobody will want to buy it. Even if it was $700-800, I would not want to buy that. But then the thing is, I'm completely skipping over, because I have the Xbox One. Because of that, I'm pretty much going to skip over the Xbox One S until I can get a really good deal on it, because at this point I'm like, oh, well, why would I get the S when I know the Scorpio is going to come out? And even then, maybe by that time I'm going to feel different. I'll be like, well, why would I get an Xbox One when I have a Windows 10 PC? 2 Windows 10 PCs, actually. Maybe 3 at that point, because I plan on building a new computer this year, but that's beside the point. Now, at the end of the day, people might be saying, well, this is ridiculous. You know, they're making a new PlayStation 4. They're making a new Xbox One. I just bought these damn systems. Why are these companies doing this? Because historically, this doesn't happen. Normally, there are revisions of a system like the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 2 Slim, the PS1, the PS1 Slim, the Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 Slim, and they're like the same specs. I mean, the actual aesthetics and the architecture of the way things are set up has changed. But for example, the Xbox 360 Slim is not more powerful than the regular Xbox 360 Fat model. You know why? I'll leave it at this. You know why these companies are doing this now? Because of Nintendo. And the reason being is that Nintendo showed that you can do that. You can release a game system, and then you can release a more powerful variant of that same game system and still have it be profitable and worthwhile and still have it be a success. If you don't know what I'm talking about, 3DS and new 3DS. There's the regular 3DS and there is the new 3DS that is out. And at this point, I wouldn't even recommend getting a regular 3DS. Just get the new 3DS. And there's some games that are exclusive on it, and there's other games that run great on the new 3DS and run horribly on the old 3DS. So I feel like that's going to be happening as well too. But if you want to blame someone, blame or thank Nintendo. Whatever you want to pick on that. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching. I want to let me know what you think of this. Do you think that Project Scorpio is going to be awesome? Are you going to get one? Or maybe not. Maybe you'll just build a PC, which at that point it would probably be better to do so, especially with every single Xbox One game guaranteed to come out on Windows 10 at this point. So let me know.